What is learning? Learning is something which is information, which is research, which is schooling, which is science, which is study, which is training, which is acquirement, which is attainment, letters, erudition, a lore, a kind of a scholarship, a kind of a tuition, a kind of wisdom, erudite, learned, scholar, scintillating, cogent, witty, lawyers. You know what learning is. We taught of these synonyms every class. I begin with these synonyms, the reason being the same. Yes, it's very, very important that you acquire that and you get more and more of this learning. With these words, with these things, let's begin with our session for today. You have been learning not only grammar but also vocabulary and new words and new things added to your knowledge for this, right? So let's begin with our words for today. We have done these words in the sentence in various forms, and now we have various roots linked with this. Let's mark first the roots with this. This is the word more, that is death. The saga of death all around because of this corona pandemic. This is anxiety and in the root of not. Under is down. This is not, right? So word is death. So the word here more is death. Being in a state of dying. First we take up, we begin with the word of anxiety. Anxiety is tension, nervous. I take the color idiom. Yes, I take the color idiom. That is to become yellow. Right, I wore this yellow scarf only to make it clear to you to become yellow. Don't become yellow in the exam. Yes, don't become nervous. Don't lose your balance of mind. Have that certainty, have that conformity in you, a feeling of worry, nervousness, unease about something, uncertain. It is something which is a concern or an apprehension, a consternation for something. That is the word here, anxiety or a tension. The opposite would be calm, serene, tranquil, composed, having that balance of mind. That is the word here which is opposite to it. Next word, moribund, in a state of dying, complete death, inactivity. Have you heard of the volcanoes which have been dying or which have been inactive for a quite of some state? Dormant volcanoes. When I did this in my geography, I thought I would not opt for geography and it's not my cup of tea. But I never knew that this is going to help me in this section too. In a state of opalescence, total forgetfulness, state of dying or inactivity, something which is complete approaching death, that is moribund. Next word is underscore. Underscore is underline something, stress something, focus on that, focus and emphasize on it. See, we also use the word AC for sharp. So when I've seen you do a highlighting by a marker, somebody coming, you put the focus light on that, that is the word underscore. To make something, emphasize something, suppose I highlight it, I underline it. So I stress on it, underpin it. I do a stress which is arrived due to the importance I want to give to that thing. It is an underline, it's an assinate, it's a stress on something, it is an emphasis on something, that is underscore. Distraught, that is this, not, right? Extremely sad and upset state, it is an agitated, delirious state, frantic state, hysterical state, a state which is in a very bad state. It's totally, we use the word fluster. It is a state when you have lost your balance of mind, right? Out of wits. A situation when you are not in your witty state, you have lost your wits. It's totally balance of mind is gone. But when you are calm, composed, you're serene, you're recollected, you're self-composed, you're totally unhysterical, that is the opposite of that word. Alacrity is very brisk. Please note, very, very important word, put an asterisk to it, very eager and enthusiastic to it. You've heard of the famous epigram. Desire and curiosity are the two eyes which keep you alive. Right, it is and brisk and cheerfulness of reading, it is eagerness, it is willingness, it's readiness, it's enthusiasm for doing something, that is alacrity. The opposite is apathy, from the root path is feelings and A is not. So apathy means no feelings, no emotions, totally indifferent to feelings and emotions, that is apathy. So when we say alacrity, it's a brisk and cheerfulness of readiness, it's an eagerness to do something, readiness to do something, and when you're not at all interested, you're totally apathetic towards it, that is the word just opposite to alacrity, right? Taking up the next words for today. Making up the sentence, don't be anxious about your exam. If you are read well, you are well read person, you will not face any problem. It was his company was in moribund state because he could not pay the debts. He's an underscore, this is the famous stress line, it's an underscore statement by the minister, by the same. This he was in, when he got failure in life, he was in a distraught state, and it is your alacrity, your quick walk, your quick readiness to accept things which will make you feel better about things, that is alacrity. Next words that we take for today. The word is deterrence. Deterrence is an action of discouraging an event. It is an event that is instilling doubt or fear of the consequence. It is disincentive. It is a hindrance and is obstacle. It's a barrier to something which acts as not allow that thing to happen. Please note the idiom. Put spokes in the wheel. That means thwart the execution of a plan. Stop it, deter it, disallow it, prevent it, preclude it, right? You don't want that thing to happen. You act as a barrier to it, a hindrance to it. That is the word deterrence. You should not deter from your path. You shouldn't. Why? Because if you will deter from your path, you will not be able to move ahead in life. Deplorable. Deplorable is something very dishonorable, very shameful thing. Please note the synonyms for this word and the root that works in it very carefully. That is the root DE. DE means not. So you are not in a graceful state, it's a disgraceful state, deserving strong condemnation. The word condemn, criticize, chaffing, carping, berating. This is very important tone of the passage, berating, belittle. You talk in a disgraceful and very shameful manner about something. It's not an honorable situation. It is disreputable, discreditable kind of a situation. You belittle, condemn, criticize, or chaffing. You make that thing happen in a very lower stage. That is the word here we use for deplorable. Next word, impel. You are impelled to study. Yes, I impel you to study. What does it mean? I goad you, urge you, insist you, focus on it, that I make you do that thing. That is goad. It's an urge or insist on. In fact, you vehemently make the person do the work. That is drive or force somebody to do something. You constrain that person, you propel that person to do that action. That is impel. Predominant. Predominant thing is the most important thing, the most chief and main thing, the strongest thing. That is the word here we use for the word predominant. It's the strongest or the main element for something. It's predominant. He is a predominant trait. This is your hard work is your predominant trait. Most important, vital, without which survival is almost next to impossible, is predominant state. Skeptic, very important tone of a passage. Skeptic means a person who disbelieves, a disbeliever. It's also having a spelling with S-K-E-P, skeptic. It's disbelief, right? Not belief in something. It is cynicism. It's a negative approach of life, always picking holes. You don't trust anybody. It's a feeling of mistrust. Cynicism is negative approach of life. You don't find anything good around you. Everything is covered with dark, gloomy clouds. It is more of, yes, pessimistic. You are in a very shady life. You are in a state where you don't want to grow in it, and you are in a state when you are very pessimistic about it. That is the word here, skepticism. Next word, in fact, the word which we use very often, which you cancel something, you don't let that thing happen, you postpone the punishment of something, you pardon somebody. Have you heard of this word? You know, president has the power of, you know, forgiving a person. Yes. Why? Because it means he is absolved from it. He is not considered as guilty, and even only president has that power of pardoning somebody, not the governor. It's cancel or postpone the punishment of someone. You acquit the person, you pardon the person, you absolve that person, right? You remember the word? Yes, absolve, not guilty. Guiltless, you tried that person, and it is taken in the sense of exculpate or exonerate, right? It is you free a person from charge or blame. But when you put the charge or blame on someone, you punish that person. This is just opposite. Please note the preposition that we use with charge. He was charged with, or he is guilty of, right? And you have to atone for the sins. You remember, charged with, guilty of, acquit of, and accused of. Put a charge. See, when you put a charge on someone, accused of, when you're free from the charge, guilty of, when you feel sorry for your action, you atone for it, and you are charged with when your action is being considered as condemned or criticized one. So this is just an interesting manner how prepositions can be learned, different prepositions in different scenarios, right students? I hope you enjoyed today's class. Please do like and subscribe the channel. Do add these words in your mind list. This is a game of words and nothing else. So please do learn these words, give your feedback, do like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.